The 2015 A's campaign ends in Seattle as they open up a 3-game set in the Emerald City. The Mariners haven't had the season they had hoped for, but have played the Athletics tough, winning 12 of the 16 games played and dominating the green and gold. The A's would love to finish the season strong, and playing the M's tough at their home park would be a nice way to wind down this regular season. It's the final series of 2015. It's the A's and it's the Mariners. Game 1 is coming up next. Final weekend of this 2015 season, and it has us in Seattle at Safeco Field on a chilly night. It's game 1 of the 3-game set. It's the A's and the Mariners coming up on CSN California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball, along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper as we look back at this 2015 season and look back at some of the seasons for the players. And let's start with Brett Lawrie. Ray, I think maybe games played is the most important number. Tonight, he's going to play in his 147th game. That's a career high.
Okay, we started talking at the beginning of the season about if you can keep him on the field, the scouts have said that, he's going to have a good season, and he has done that. Swinging the bat well, he's got hot late, but I agree with you because his strength is not really lessened that much because he's still swinging the bat very well. His defense is outstanding. He's doing it at third base. He's doing it at second base. But I think the most important thing about him is his energy. He shows a lot of energy regardless where he plays. Third base, he moved to second. He said, I don't mind moving, but just leave me at one position. How about this play over the shoulder at the Coliseum? So he can play defense. He can swing the bat well. And overall, he's had a great season primarily because, like you said, he stayed on the field.
And for Mark Canha, truly one of the bright spots for the A's in this 2015 season. Of course, a Rule 5, and so he knew he was going to make the team in spring training, but the A's might have found themselves a true run producer, Ray. He's been really good.
I don't know that Mark Canha, and anybody would think that he's a rookie and a Rule 5 player. You watch him play, whether it's offense or defense, and again, just like Brett Lawrie, but what he does swinging the bat, I've never seen a better two-strike approach, regardless of the count, but 2 strikes, he's still aggressive. He's become a very smart hitter, using the whole field, and of course at first base, learning that position as well, taking some short hops, scooping the ball at first base, but because of his speed, he can go to the outfield, showing that he can make the plays in the outfield as well in left field. So for him, they'll probably find one position, first or left field. He's going to swing the bat, and he's probably going to play a lot in the future.
All right, pitching matchup tonight, Aaron Brooks for the Athletics, and Hisashi Iwakuma will pitch for the Seattle Mariners. Up next, we're going to head back inside the A's pregame live studios, and then we'll come back to Safeco Field for game 1 of the series. It's the A's and the Mariners, so stick around.
California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the home-style Ranch Chicken Club today, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
So we are set to wrap up this 2015 season here this weekend at Safeco Field. A nice, cool, crisp fall night for baseball as it's the A's and the Mariners. And the A's wrapping things up. Let's look at the game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. The roof is closed here at Safeco Field. There's dark clouds around us. It thought about raining today. It never really did, but right now it's 59 degrees and we can feel it. It feels pretty good though.
Yes, it does.
So the Mariners have taken the field behind their starting pitcher Hisashi Iwakuma, and let's look at the lineup tonight for the Athletics. It starts with Billy Burns, and Burns will be in center field, and then Canna at first, Reddick in right, Valencia at third, both will catch. Butler's the DH, and then Laurie at second, Sogard at short, Fulton left.
And it will be the right-hander Hisashi Iwakuma. He has pitched a no-hitter, but he also struggled against the Athletics in the start here at Safeco Field back in late August. We'll talk about that game, but he's a good pitcher. He likes to throw the split-finger fastball, the 2 and 4 seam fastball, and a cutter. Those three pitches pretty much what he likes to throw.
So Iwakuma is ready, and Billy Burns steps into the batter's box. So we're set for baseball from Seattle. Mariners saying thanks to the fans. A decent crowd tonight. Fireworks after the game. And Iwakuma kicks and delivers the first pitch of the game, and it's like a little breaking ball that's fouled back to the screen. So Burns, Canna, Reddick, the top three in the A's order tonight. 294 for Billy Burns with 5 home runs and 42 runs batted in. In our open, we talked about Laurie and Canna, and Canna, of course, being no question one of the really the bright spots of this season, and I think Billy Burns and Canna fall in that category together.
Well, a nice group of rookies, and was it last year? The A's didn't have a rookie. They just played a lot of veterans. Ended up going to the wild card play-in game, but this year an abundance of rookies, and 3 in particular in the everyday lineups. Marcus Semien not playing tonight, but doing a good job at short, Billy in center, and of course Mark Canna first and left, first base tonight.
And a 1-2 pitch. There's that Iwakuma splitter, and he gets a lot of strikeouts on that pitch, and he does right there. So Burns is tagged out at home plate, and that's out number 1. So the defense for the Mariners tonight, it'll be Smith in left, Miller in center, Trumbo in right, Seager, Marte, Cano, and Morrison on the infield with Jesus Sucre doing the catching.
Billy Burns would normally be running. He must have thought he found the splitter, because he did not run out of the box, and that's unusual. He is very aggressive swinging the bat, but he stood at home plate and was tagged by Sucre after the splitter, but of course it's not a pitch or a play you can review.
And here's Canna, who takes a first pitch strike. Canna at 252. 15 home runs and 69 runs batted in. Reached for and lined foul down the third baseline. So a quick 0-2 to Canna. Umpires, Paul Nauert calling balls and strikes. The crew chief Dana DeMuth is at first. Mike Estabrook at second. Ed Hickox is down at third. So good share of the umpires wrapping up their season as well. Some will move on to the postseason. And there's the splitter. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the game by Iwakuma, and that is his go-to pitch.
Especially with 2 strikes, he will go right to it, and as he threw the breaking pitch, first pitch to Billy Burns, but the splitter, a good pitch, and you just have to try to recognize that if the ball is tumbling, And if it's approaching the plate and it's at the knees, it's going to end up out of the strike zone. And easier said than done when you're just 60 feet away from home plate.
Throws the splitter 26% of the time. Second highest percentage in the majors. He likes to use it. First pitch to Reddick. It's on the outside corner for a strike. Reddick at 272 with 20 home runs, 77 RBIs. Reddick bouncing back from an injury-plagued season last year when he had 12 home runs and 54 RBIs and played in just 109 games. Today, Reddick is playing in game number 147. Here's Lloyd McClendon, second season here in Seattle. Mariners taking a step backwards this year.
They were one win away, or the A's lost in that final day. We have one of the wild card participants, and that might have changed everything for the Mariners, but they lost that day, and many expected them to be maybe world champs. Who knows? At the beginning of the season with the off-season acquisitions, but that is not the case.
And the 1-2 splitter, and Reddick strikes out, and Iwakuma strikes out the side. All swinging, all on split finger fastballs. No score after a half an inning. And this is the lineup they will send out. Tel Marte, young shortstop, will lead things off. Then Seager, Cruz, Cano, Trumbo, the big power hitters right in the middle of that lineup for Seattle. Smith, Morrison, Miller, and Sucre rounded out. That's your Mariners starting lineup.
Aaron Brooks, his final start of the 2015 season, and he gets to start against the club that he faced at the Coliseum. And while he got a lot of run support in that game, especially early, he was not able to hang on and came out in the third inning. Dan Valencia, a grand slam in the first inning in that game on the Friday night. Brooks, though, give up, at least contribute to a 6th spot in the third inning, and the Mariners won the game. So good changeup, and as Bob Melvin said, he'd like to see him throw it effectively. And maybe tonight, in this final weekend of baseball for both clubs, maybe that will be the case for Brooks.
Here's Ketel Marte, the switch hitting shortstop, leading things off, and he takes the first pitch strike.
Now, if Marte was a courteous young man, he would say, Stephen Vogt, how are you feeling? Because he was the plate when that devastating blow knocked Stephen Vogt out for a period of time. It was the left-hander Drew Pomeranz pitching to the switch hitter, and he found a 3-1 fastball. Stephen Vogt will never forget. But good to see him back behind the plate. Like we said in our opening, he wants to play all 3 games this weekend.
Marte has only played a portion of the season, but man, has he been tough on the A's. 13 for 26 with 4 doubles and a triple. This is his 55th game of the year. Talk about pleasant surprises for the A's. This would be a pleasant surprise for the Mariners, because really they've sort of been looking for a shortstop for a while.
Right.
And maybe they have found one. You can tell Marte. He's been impressive.
And as we have talked when the A's have seen him, the one negative about him was his defense, but everything he has done against the A's has been spectacular.
I think we've probably seen him at his best.
Yeah. He saves it for the A's, evidently.
He is just 21 years old. He'll turn 22 on the 10th of this month. He's from the Dominican Republic. The Mariners have to be thinking about him as their shortstop going into the future. 2-pitch takes it low.
Well, they moved Bragg over to the outfield. He was the shortstop. He's in center field now, so the Mariners trying to find the position players. Of course, they know they have Seager at third. They have Cano at second. Nelson Cruz is their DH. King Felix top of the rotation.
A little bit outside with the changeup, so the count 2-2. Seager to follow, and then Cruz here in the bottom of the first. On a cool evening at Safeco Field as we are into the month of October. We're 3-2.
Aggressive on the first 2 pitches, found off 3 with 2 strikes, and now has taken 3 and on the count 3-2. 9th pitch coming up.
Hits that one to the shortstop Sogard, who's playing behind second base. He slips as he throws. That's that area where the writing is in the dirt, and I don't think there's any question that that is what Sogard slipped on. Marte is retired. Here's the defense for the A's. Fold, Burns, and Reddick in the outfield. Valencia, Sogard, Laurie, and Canha on the infield, and Vogt as your catcher.
That's a good point. That's almost like putting chalk down in the outfield, and see the spike mark as Sogi planted his foot, and he was not able to keep his footing. Good play at first base by Mark Canha.
Sogi would like to get away from that dirt, but he can't because he's playing the shift.
Watch as he took the step and left foot. He just wanted to have Mark Canha work on his ability to catch the balls in the dirt.
I want to notice Seager. That one in for a strike with a fastball. Watch the foot just give way.
You know, it helped also that Marte was not really running that hard out of the box, and he might have changed his mind right at the end as he tried to hurry up. But if he's running hard, that might have been an interesting play for Sogard to try to get the out, considering he slipped and did not make a strong throw. That's why you always run 90 feet. You know, you always run hard, and you can always stop and get in the dugout. But if you don't, things like that happen. Everybody says, well, if you run hard, got a chance to beat it out. Did you see him slip? Nope.
Especially if you're 20 years old and you're very fast.
Thank you. And you're trying to press your team, your new manager, and a new general manager.
Seager hits one very high, shallow right center. Burns waits, and Burns has it 2 outs. And that'll bring up Nelson Cruz.
And it's nothing against Marte. There's too many, and a lot of major league players are guilty of not running hard to first base, and that just happened to be Marte. And as it turned out, I mean, it's always tough on a player when he starts to accelerate, when he realizes that, oh, I got a chance to beat it out, and then he's just thrown out by a step. So it's just happened to him, but there's too many guys guilty.
So here's Nelson Cruz. First pitch is a good one on the outside corner to Cruz. Big season, 301, 44 home runs, and 92 RBIs for Nelson Cruz. He is second in the league home runs behind Chris Davis, who has 45. So Cruz is looking for a big weekend and maybe get the home run crown. He won it last year. One and two the count. Cruz 8th in the league in batting average. He taps this one slowly toward third. Valencia has it, flips on the run, and a nice play. Side retired. 3 up, 3 down inning for both pitchers. No score after 1.
to 2016 priority seating and choose your exact seating location for next season. A's offer a variety of full and partial season plans that qualify for great benefits, including half-price parking, flexible ticket exchange program, and more. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit athletics.com/2016.
Second inning. And Valencia goes after the first pitch, rips it toward the right field corner. It's fair, and it's into the corner. And Valencia will have a leadoff double. So Valencia, who's been pitched away a lot lately, just went the other way, and that's a pretty good job of hitting by Valencia.
First three batters to start this game started 0-2 to Iwakuma. Struck out all three, so you watch that. Get the fourth hit, get a first pitch fastball, jump on it. He did. He's elevated by Iwakuma. Let's not forget back in August that Iwakuma, of course, coming shortly after his no-hitter, 4 innings, 1 hit.
That's right.
And in the 5th inning, he had a 3-0 lead. A's put 7 on the board in the 5th inning. He did not make it out of the 5th. And it was the Valencia, of course, a great hustle by, and speaking of running hard to first base, Josh Reddick did it that night. Montero got a little confused at first base, and Reddick kept the inning going. But a huge inning for the A's, and they won that game. It's Iwakuma. And now that he's looking, for his 10th win, 3 consecutive years with 10 wins. Just think if he had pitched better in that game, not giving up a 7th spot, this might have been a moot point for him tonight.
That one's hit towards center. Miller backs up, still going back. Now he settles underneath it. He's got it. Valencia is going to hustle into third, and it's a productive out for Stephen Vogt.
Ground ball to the right side, fly ball deep enough to advance the runner. Job well done by Stephen Vogt.
There's the 2 starts against the A's. So 1 bad one, 1 good one. Overall in his career, he's 5-5 against the A's. Hisashi Iwakuma from Tokyo. It's his 4th year here in Seattle after 11 years in Japan, and he will be a free agent after this season.
Infield in for Billy Butler in this at bat. That's a good situation for a hitter to have the infield coming, especially in this yard, because it is very deep in the outfield. A lot of space between the drawn in infield and the outfielders. So enough space where the thanks. That one word, the A, caused a lot of attention in the A's dugout between innings.
A for the A's are not happy with that spot.
That's a good one. Eric Sogard talking about it. Brett Lord came over and put his fingers in up, saying it's about 3 inches thick. Melvin asked Sogi. Sogi fist pump to Mark Cannon. Nice play, saving an error. He's trying to get on the board early.
One foul right over top of the Mariners dugout. So 1-2 the count. I'm going to believe that Iwakuma is going to go to that splitter at some point soon.
Well, except that, and you're right, he probably will, but Sucre's catcher, a little bit extra and added pressure. He's got to block the splitter if he calls it, and he can show confidence in his pitcher by calling the splitter to see if he goes to it. Decided to go fastball in and up.
And he chased a pitch way out of the strike zone. So that was not a splitter. It was a fastball up and away.
Oh, that's a big out too. Just contact, and Butler saw it, and a tough pitch. You think I can get it? It's unlikely. It is a tough pitch to catch up to, and Billy Butler found out. I think more than anything happened this weekend, and we've seen it and said it in September, that if the A's can accomplish that one thing, getting a runner in less than 2 outs from third base, carry that into the offseason and 2016, that could be a big boost for the ball club, because so many runs left at third in those given situations.
And it's really been an issue from almost from day one. 2-0 to Laurie, hitting .261 with 16 home runs and 58 RBIs. Not close. 3-0. Sogard waiting in the on-deck circle.
Well, it took 2-0. He's taken all the way. Now swing 3-0 if he gets a fastball. Nothing to lose this time of the year. That's why Yoko might not throw him a fastball.
And he didn't. And it's a called strike.
But the way he pitched to him in the first 3 pitches indicated that he didn't want to pitch to him. So not surprised in the sense that he wouldn't throw a 3-1 fastball. This might be a split.
Lots of movement. That one kind of running in on Lowry. So now it's a full count with Valencia at third.
Sucre uses four wiggles for the split finger fastball.
And there it is.
There it is.
And that's it. And that's a pitcher's work. And he's got 5 strikeouts the first 2 innings. So an opportunity for the A's, but they cannot get Valencia home. No score after an inning and a half. CSNCA Data Strong fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by T-Mobile. Space Needle. Downtown Seattle. He's got an A's beanie on. See, it's a little chilly.
Yes, it is. But nice, comfortable, chilly, expected. We're in October, October the 2nd.
Cano slaps one through the shift and into left field for a base hit. So Robinson Cano with a leadoff single. Now got a 14-game hitting streak.
Well, elevated pitch, and Robinson Cano, we've seen it with the Yankees, and see where Danny Valencia was playing, and a shot through the infield.
So here's Trumbo. Mark Trumbo. Big swing by Trumbo, and he fouls it straight back. Trumbo has settled in. Those are his combined numbers with the Diamondbacks and the Mariners. 22 home runs, 64 RBIs. The trade was on the 3rd of June.
And he went from a hitter's park to a non-hitter's park.
With the Mariners, 266, 13 and 41. So remember, he got off to a real slow start with Seattle. He's a very dangerous hitter, lots of power. This one's hit high in the air. And the shortstop. And Sogard grabs it. So one away here in the bottom of the second inning, and that'll bring up Seth Smith. Seth Smith, former Athletic. Hitting at .248 this year with 11 home runs and 41 runs batted in. With the A's in 2012 and 2013. Played quite a bit. Had over 350 at-bats in each season with the A's. A's won a lot of ball games when Seth Smith was on their team in those 2 seasons.
Had some big hits with the ball club. Yeah, some huge hits, and fit in perfectly.
1-0 pitch, sinker low, 2-0. Where he hit that home run that tied the game against the Yankees.
Yep.
That was in 2012, right around the All-Star break. You would probably remember.
Yep.
But I know we talked about that was a 4-game sweep of the Yankees, and I know I felt like it. That was the series where you started to think, you know what, these guys may be pretty good.
Yeah.
And then they just went on and rolled through it. But you sweep the Yankees and you win that last game on Sunday, but you tie it in the 9th and win it in extra innings.
Remember, Mariano Rivera went down and came back in 14, but
this one skied again on the infield. Maury, the second baseman, waits. He's got it. That's right. That was a non-Mariano.
Yes, because he was out in 12, came back in 13. He retired because Jeter's last year 14. So 13 was the last year, but 12, the game you mentioned, he was out.
Soriano.
Yeah, Soriano got him, or he got Soriano straight away to center and tied the game in the 9th. So yeah, those games, but I've never seen a more dejected Yankees in my life after a 4-game sweep, and especially since CeCe Matthew had a pretty good lead in that game, and it was just a magical year for the A's. Winning the division on the last day of the season.
Logan Morrison steps in. Morrison at .225, 17 home runs, 53 RBIs.
2012, 13 regular season walk-offs. Delaire reminds us of Brandon Moss with 1. And then, of course, Seth Smith had a huge double in Game 4 of the division series against the Tigers before the A's walked off in that one. Elimination game, took it to Game 5.
Morrison hooks one down the right field line, deep but foul, not by much.
He's done that here before against the Yankees.
Yes, he has. He's wore out that corner.
That right field line. Yeah, I mean, he knew his foul. Got in front of a changeup and pulled it from the A's standpoint very happily to see the ball in front of the foul pole and fair pole.
So 1-1 the count. Check swing, roll, and foul. The 9th start of the year for Aaron Brooks. And who doesn't want to finish strong, right? Short lead by Cano. He led off the inning with a single. Fastball is high.
Well, with Felix Hernandez not getting a win in his last start, which could have been his 19th, that means he will not pitch this weekend, which means that the A's will have missed him 1 out of 6 times. Pitched against them 5 times.
It's better than last year and the year before.
That's right.
skied to shallow center. And Burns in a group makes the catch side. Retired hit and a runner left, and we're headed to the third. No score. A's and Mariners.
Ball from Richards right down the line, and a big hit for Eric Sogard to clear the bases, and those turned out to be all three unearned. Matter of fact, a lot of unearned runs for the Athletics, scoring and winning that game on Wednesday. Off day yesterday. Sogard back tonight at shortstop.
He grounds this one to Marte on the first pitch. Sogard is retired. Well, speaking of those Angels, Ray, we got scores to keep a close eye on. Angels Rangers 1-1, top of the ninth inning in Arlington. Mike Trout just led off the top of the ninth with a triple.
Oh, wow.
So that is a huge series, obviously, with the Astros holding down the second wild card. Twins 1 game back, Angels 1 game back. Yankees the #1 wild card team. So Angels really can't afford to lose. The Twins are trailing 3-1 in the ninth inning. And that one's going to get into left field for a base hit. Sam Fuld rolls one the other way. Second hit for the A's.
Well, Sam Fuld outside, pitches up, goes to opposite field, slips out of the batter's box. Get some longer cleats, football season.
Yep.
Sam Fuld defensively doing a great job. Starts one out in this inning, gets a base hit. Willie Burns a long look at Ron Washington.
Burns struck out in the first. Seager inches in on the grass. Burns shows bunt. The pitch is low. The Astros are leading the Diamondbacks 6-0 in the bottom of the third. So Houston, they control their own destiny, as they are the second wild card team right now. So they get off to a big start in that interleague matchup down in Arizona. And Dallas Keuchel is pitching that game, and he's trying to become a 20-game winner.
Pretty good guy to have on the mound, especially with an early lead.
Keuchel is 19-8. I looked at the Astros lineup, Ray.
Yeah, tell us about it. Where's Evan Gattis?
No Evan Gattis.
Really?
Yeah, he was on the bench. Preston Tucker starting and playing left field, and that is where I guess Gattis would play if he was in the lineup.
He did say that's where he would be.
But he's not in it.
He got his 11th triple the other day.
Speed merchant.
How about, I thought it was an interesting note. Dale Long, who's a great player, is the last player to have more than 10 triples without a stolen base, and Evan Gattis probably going to match him or go past him. But I mean, Gattis is not a speed burner on the bases to steal bases, but it's, I guess Paul Bunyan hits him as hard as he does. Yeah. He can lumber around to triples easily. Teams have to be happy they're not home runs, but he's had a great season for the Astros.
Yeah, so far, the Astros have not needed him tonight. A 6-0 lead. Runner goes. Burns slaps it foul. As I said, the Royals leading the Twins 3-1 in Minnesota in the 9th inning. So at this point, the Twins 1 game back of the Astros. They can't afford to lose.
And I guess the good news for the Twins, are playing at home. The bad news, they're playing a team that's trying to gear it up, get ready for the division series next week. The Kansas City Royals, winning their first division since '85. Was the wild card participant last year.
So that wild card, still the only thing that needs to be decided. Blue Jays, Royals, and Rangers just need 1 win this weekend, and they will be the division winners. They're already wrapped up a playoff spot.
But they're playing a team that has to win all 3.
Yep. And it still might not be good enough. And the Angels have taken a lead 2-1 in the top of the 9th inning in Arlington. So Mike Trout led off the triple. He scored. So
yeah, the Angels without their closer Houston Street.
That's right. Who's going to take over in the bottom side?
Joe Smith is going to try to close it out. He was healthy, pitched well on Wednesday against the A's.
2-2 pitch. Burns. Shallow center. That's going to fall for a hit. Miller tried to deke Sam Fuld, and Fuld hustles to second. So really Burns drops a base hit. 2 on, 1 out. Blue Jays got off that list. Remember, they were on top. But the longest active postseason drought now belongs to these Seattle Mariners. So 2001. You see the Astros have a pretty good chance to get themselves off that list. They'd be thrilled with that. But for the Mariners, got to go back to 2001 when they had that huge season in 116 wins.
The A's won the wild card that year with over 100. Still finished about 15 games out of first.
And the Mariners have been to the postseason 4 times. 95, 97, 2000, and then 2001. All 4 of those times, Lou Piniella was the manager.
Well, their 116 win season, probably Lou took the Cincinnati Reds wire to wire 1990. But you would think when you win 116 regular season, you're going to just go right through a postseason, but it just didn't happen.
Quick throw to first, and Burns just gets back. Throw to second, and the ball trickles away into shallow left center field, and they're going to wave Sam Fuld home. And here comes the throw to the plate, and it is not in time, and that rolls to the backstop. Burns is going to try for third. The merry-go-round continues, and the A's have a 1-0 lead.
Sam Fuld was going to be out by 20 feet at the plate. Sucre couldn't hang on. Of course, the pitcher Iwakuma didn't know where to back up. He wasn't behind the plate. So the quick throw to first, unusual. He's safe there. How about a quick throw to second? That's missed at second by Marte. Trickles the outfield. Ron Washington sending him. And here comes the throw, and he is safe with the mask up on the top of the helmet. And Sam Fuld being sent by Ron Washington might as well be aggressive. This is the time of the year to do it. And Sam Fuld goes around Sucre, touches the plate with his left hand. I'd get rid of the mask if I were Sucre. But Billy Burns ends up at third. Official score trying to figure all that out. Who gets what?
Yeah, it may take a while. It's going to be a couple of errors given. And the A's will take it 1-0, and they got a runner at third and 1 out.
There should be an error either on Morrison or Marte, and then an error on Marte might get 2 because his throw to the plate bounced.
Missed catch and a bad throw.
Because it looked like a decent throw from Morrison to second. He just missed it and then casually went after the ball. That is exactly what you don't want to see or have a fielder do, is casually go after a ball that you miss and look around to see what the runner is going to be doing. Anticipate that he's going to try to score.
It's an E3 and an E6. They have 2 errors up on the board. There has to be 2 errors.
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, it did not look like, we'll have to look at the throw to Marte again, because it didn't look like that bad of a throw. It just looked like he missed it.
Canna swings and misses, 3-2.
Well, the infield again, they are in with the runner at third, similar to the last inning when Valencia was there with Billy Butler at the plate. Splitter on 3-1. You'd have to expect to get it again 3-2. Iwakuma looking for the strikeout.
And he got it. But he just keeps flipping that splitter in there, Ray. And it just has to have a super late break.
Yeah, it does. Okay, here's the throw to second by Morrison. Let's see how this throw is to second. That's an E6.
Yeah, that should be.
I mean, he
really
just
should be a
missed
miscatch.
it. He just missed it. And because Morrison, that ball is a knee high, it's not in the dirt. Marte missed it, and then I think the casual part. So really twice tonight, he's really jogged to first base, could have run out, maybe got an infield hit, and then jogged after the ball that got past him. And looking back to see if Ron Washington's going to send for it, which he did.
So a crazy play, and it was nothing more than just a pickoff attempt at first, but it turned into a complete disaster for the Mariners. You think about that, Ray, just a decent pickoff attempt at first turned into 2 errors and a run for the A's.
And with a strikeout, Canna, this could be, well, another run for sure, but see what happens with Reddick and run at third. He didn't like that call on a splitter. He did a good job not swinging at it. And then it's called a strike in the lower part of the strike zone with Paul Nauert.
Iwakuma kicks, and the pitch is pulled it up and in on 91, and Reddick swings through it.
Supposed to be outside and down. It's up and down the middle, and Josh going for home run number 21.
Well, Reddick now probably trying to get to 80 RBIs. He's 3 away. Flips this one down the left field line and second row. So the count remains 2-2. A lead for Aaron Brooks. Not a big lead, but a lead.
Well, they had a 4-0 lead in Valencia's grand slam. That was in Oakland.
And there's the splitter, and Reddick chased it. So Reddick strikes out for the second time. A's get a run. It's an unearned run, and they'll take it. Bottom of the third coming up. A's 1, Mariners nothing. Good sausage company. Get grilling. That's the big wheel. It's really high. You want to know how I know that?
You're on it.
Oh my goodness. I was on it and I couldn't wait to get off it because it's really high.
Did you close your eyes?
No, that would have made it. That would have made my stomach feel worse. Don't close your eyes and don't look down. So it'll be Miller, Sucre, and Marte here in the bottom of the third. He's with a 1-0 lead thanks to an unearned run. Taps one foul. It's a good changeup from Aaron Brooks.
Thank you. So it was a double error on.
So they got it
Marte.
right.
Yeah. Well, after reviewing and watching a replay and seeing that it was a good throw, can't give Logan Morrison an error.
So Miller with a line single. So when it's all said and done, Marte gets 2 errors on the play, and that is the correct call. Second hit for the Mariners.
That's the old saying, not doing too much with a fastball outside, as Miller starts the inning with a base hit to the opposite field.
First pitch to Jesus Sucre is in first strike. Tough year for Sucre offensively. As Mike Zunino set down.
Mike Zunino's the instructional league for the Diamondbacks.
Amazing, isn't it?
And I was asking about him because he's done a tremendous job catching the ball and blocking balls, handling the pitching staff. And evidently he is in Arizona in the instructional league. I assume Arizona, their camp, they're Peoria, but he's working specifically on his bat, his swing. Redefining his swing, his bat, and not catching. He doesn't need to catch. I mean, he's and Lloyd McClendon and most managers will say catching is a very important position, but I got to get something out of it.
Yeah.
And Mike Scioscia said it about Jeff Mathis, as I remember, and have said that before. So it's a position that you need defense and to handle the pitching staff, but Stephen Vogt has contributed offensively as well. Same Josh Figley. Done a great job catching, but that's something that Mike Zunino could never get on track swinging the bat. Some say he might have been brought up too quickly to try to handle the major league pitching, major league hitting, or at least his pitching staff he could handle, but not the pitching staff of the opposition, and had a tough time swinging the bat. So we wish him well. He's a good catcher. Anybody's related to Gary Hughes got to be good.
Oh, yeah. Gary's good.
Yeah, godfather. Gary Hughes, longtime baseball man.
Some great fouls and straight back. So the Angels win. They just finished it off. They got a 2-1 win in Texas. Huge win. The Astros are winning, but it is not a final yet. And the Twins are losing in the 9th inning. So that is updated with the Angels win. So again, Angels 2, Texas 1. And that's a final.
So the A's win on Wednesday against the Angels hurt them because the Astros put themselves back in the second wild card.
Yep.
And
yeah, they flip-flop.
And so if the Angels went out and the Astros went out, I guess a loss by the Astros and 2 more wins by the Angels end up a tie.
Yep. Runner goes. The ball's hit off the plate. Chopped high towards Sogard. He barehands. He throws. What a play by Sogard. I think that was the only play he had, even though Sucre does not run real well.
And the good thing as Sogard did, watch as he charges the ball on the hit and run. It's high. He's not going after it. He waits. Bare hand, quick throw. He knows Sucre doesn't run well. Fast, that is. So he decides to take his time, look the ball into his hand, get a good spin on the baseball and a good grip, and a very good throw by the very, very sure-handed Eric Sogard.
So Miller now at second with one out, and here's Ketel Marte. Marte grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning. A little pop-up behind the pitcher's mound, and Sogard comes in to grab it for the second out.
The fans of the Mariners over at the Old Kingdom. Fans of Chris Bosio and Omar Vizquel. Bosio a no-hitter in the ninth inning with 2 outs. And Omar barehands a ground ball and throws him out for the no-hitter.
How about that?
Bosio now pitching coach for the Cubs, doing a great job for Joe Madden. Omar Vizquel, probably a manager sometime, coaching first for the Tigers, and when their managerial possible change,
Maybe.
he might be interviewing. Who knows?
So Seager steps in. In that Angels-Rangers win, the Angels scored in the top of the ninth inning on a Trout triple and then a Pujols single, and that was the difference. Pops off Vogt's glove. Dillard to third.
That is a pass ball, and understandably just clanked out of the glove of Stephen Vogt. Put his glove there and hit off the edge. As a changeup, he pulled the string and had a little bit more move than Stephen thought. And as he went to get the ball, he pointed for Brooks to cover the plate, which smart on his part, even though the ball was rolling up the first baseline.
So 1-0 to Seager, who hit a fly ball to center field. And that one, it hit him. Seager limping around a little bit. He's acting like it hit him. He is going to head to first base like it hit him. But Paul Nauer didn't really make any signal. Now he points toward first base.
Well, regardless, Brooks overthrew it and probably has to be happy that it did hit him if it did. He might have missed it. And Stephen Vogt might have blocked it, but he was so concerned, pulled his foot back, got him on the top of the foot. Yep, and that's what changed direction. But if it doesn't hit him, pretty good chance it's a wild pitch, and the Mariners score a run on a pass ball and a wild pitch.
So now first and third, 2 outs, and here's Nelson Cruz. Cruz grounded out to Valencia in the first, hit a little tapper. The first pitch is sliced foul. The Twins are batting in the bottom of the ninth inning, trailing Kansas City 3-1. But they are down to their final out. Chop near second, where he has it, fires to first side. Retired, 2 runners stranded, and we're headed to the fourth inning. And the A's with a 1-0 lead over Seattle.
Baseballs with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, scores, statcast, live radio broadcast, and more. Get the MLB.com at bat now. It's a good one. So, saw that fan probably doing it.
Valencia leading it off. First pitch down and away. Valencia, Vogt, and Butler here in the top of the 4th inning. Valencia sliced a double into the right field corner in his first at bat. Was leading off the 2nd inning, but the A's could not get him home. There's a line drive, left field, base hit. It was off-speed pitch that was up, and Valencia lined it to left.
Well, either first pitch hitting or getting ahead hitting. He's got some pretty good pitches to hit, and Valencia's taking care of both of them.
So Valencia 2 for 2. Kuma now will face Vogt, who hit a fly ball to pretty deep center field, deep enough to allow Valencia to go 2nd to 3rd. So we got another final. The Twins lose 3-1 to the Royals. And the Twins now a game and a half back of the Astros. The Astros are winning 7-1 in the 4th inning. So if the Astros were to win, the Twins would be 2 back with 2 games to play and a team in between them and the team they're chasing. So they'd be chasing 2 teams. So the Twins really could not afford to lose any games this weekend, and they lose tonight to the 1st place Royals. Pitch to Vogt. Good swing, 2-1.
I mean, talked about Eric Sogard, a big hit. How about Stephen Vogt? This one untied ball game, and Moran, Stephen said, "Can you believe he threw him a 2-strike curveball?" He said he's nasty, and he flipped the curveball, and Stephen Vogt got it, drove in 2, and Stephen Vogt, that was a big one because it got into 70 ribbies, and a very, very good season for the All-Star catcher. 18 home runs, 70 runs batted in as we speak.
Up the middle, off Iwakuma. He finds it. He throws to first, not in time, and it's going to be a hit for Vogt.
The way he reacted and went after the ball, you think that it hit him solidly, unless he was just frustrated he didn't make the play. Vogt back up the middle. You heard the splat. It got him solid. And he made an off-balance throw and grabbed his right thigh. It's not a good sound. Although he sent trainer Lloyd McClellan to the back, said he's okay.
So he's got something going here. 5 hits now off Iwakuma.
You know, these pitchers can say, you know, we work on this PFP, pitchers fundamental practice, all the time. And what good does it do because the ball is hit back at us? We don't know how hard it's hit. Spring training, it might just hit routine ground balls, but man, for a pitcher, you never know exactly how hard it's hit, how you're going to react when the ball is hit.
First pitch to Butler. Sliced, right field, base hit. Bounces in front of Trumbo. So the bases are going to be loaded with nobody out. And the hitter is going to be Laurie.
Billy Butler had to be thinking, why not the last at bat? Hanging slider and good opposite field approach by Butler. Trumbo had no chance to get to it except to get the ball back in. Unfortunately, A's runners could not take advantage. The ball dropping in front, but nobody out. Another opportunity.
And this is a big opportunity as Laurie steps in. Valencia at third, Vogt at second, Butler at first, and the first pitch is in for a strike.
That's the first fastball for Brett Lawrie in tonight's game. First at bat, 6 pitches, all off speed, including a 3-0 slider. A pitcher in this situation, since he has already struck out 7, he's got to be thinking strikeout and then the possibility of a ground ball to get 2. Infield playing for 2, and the A's would like to change that with Brett Lawrie driving the ball someplace.
Lawrie struck out in the second. That one foul, chased a pitch that was down and away. Lawrie sitting on 58 RBIs. Pitch 2-2. So a fastball, and see if Lawrie gets another one. You kind of doubt it.
He's going for the strikeout. I think he's willing to throw back-to-back splitters to try to get it now.
The 2-2 pitch, and it's caught by Morrison on the one hop out at second, and the run will score. Great play by Logan Morrison. What was headed to right field. So it'll be a fielder's choice RBI with Valencia scoring to make it 2-0 A's.
Iwakuma was a fan. He didn't even attempt to get to first base. I think he probably thought it was a base hit to right field because he just stood there. Morrison, a great play, well off the bag. And Iwakuma did not know what to do. Started to go, faked the throw to first by Marte. But you're right, that saved at least a couple of runs. I don't know if Butler would have gotten a third, but at least Brett Lawrie able to get one in.
So Lawrie gets RBI number 59. And still only one out with runners at the corners. And the first pitch is a fastball inside. Iwakuma thought it was a strike. Sogard bounced out to the shortstop in his first at bat. That one is a strike, 90 miles an hour. Vogt is the runner at third with Lawrie at first. Outfield very shallow and shifted toward left center. Trumbo playing normal depth in right field. This is outside, and Iwakuma didn't like that call. He thought that caught the outside corner. I don't know that it did. Well, Sogard, generally a pretty good eye.
Yeah, North's got a pretty tight strike zone tonight. key umpire in this group would be Mike Estabrook, umpire at second, because he'll be behind the plate on Sunday.
He's got a huge strike zone, from what I understand.
If he doesn't, he'll think about it tomorrow night after the game before he gets behind the plate on Sunday.
Sogard slaps one foul down the third base line. So the count is even at 2-2.
That'd be the man of the hour on Sunday.
Yeah, he's going to have a nice pitcher strike zone.
Nobody knows he actually has a reservation 4 o'clock. That's a 12:10 start and 4 o'clock reservation.
And he's going to make it. Just ask him.
Go to SeaTac.
That's right.
And he won't even need a police escort. It just
2-2 pitch, fouled again left side. So Sogard, as he always seems to do, putting a good battle on a pitcher.
you'd have to think of Iwakuma in his last start. He's trying to get to double figures for the third consecutive year. You'd think pitch count's immaterial tonight. I think he would tell Rick White's pitching coach, throw the clicker away. I don't even want to know. You'd have to figure, try to keep it close and stay in the game as long as possible.
Sogard grounds it to short. Out at second, Cano on the turn, and that's a double play. So the A's, when it's all said and done, get 1 run on 3 hits. Bottom of the 4th coming up. 2-0 Athletics. The start for the A's, probably his last big league start, and a couple of big double plays. When it was all said and done, he went 4 innings, gave up a couple of runs, a couple of strikeouts, 76 pitches, and made a nice play there. And I'm glad we got to do the game, right?
You know, I think it's great as well. And Bob Melvin's comments, and you know, when we saw him sitting down next to Barry Zito, he pretty much said, Barry, you know what? We don't have a chance of winning this game if you had not pitched as well as you did for 4 innings. He said, we don't win this game without you. And he said, at 76 pitches, if I send you back out, you got the tough part of the batting order. I don't want to take you out and have runners left on base. So you know what? Congratulations on 4 great innings and perhaps your final start. And thank you for giving a great effort. And I think as the skipper said after the game, we did not win this game on Wednesday without Barry Zito starting, because their starters have been horrible. I mean, in the month of September, I mean, they've been giving up a lot of runs and getting in the holes early. And Barry kept it down. So congratulations to him. And I agree with you. We got a chance to call Saturday and Wednesday Barry Zito on the mound both games.
So Cano is retired, 1 away, and Barry sits right now in the all-time Oakland ranks for starts wins, fourth in wins, fourth in strikeouts, fifth in innings pitched.
Well, you think Barry Zito, after the AAA season, he had shut it down minimum, about 9 days. He gets the call. Here goes the roller coaster back up.
Yep.
Makes 2 starts. Really was not, maybe wasn't even going to make Wednesday's start, but he did, as he was nice enough to tell us after the game, Tuesday that is, after the game, that what was it, Wednesday? What day is today?
I don't know.
Thursday's off.
I don't know
so
what
Friday
is.
today. So it'd
be any day.
Tuesday. Wednesday's game. That's what it was. It could have been an easy day. Yeah, it's Wednesday that Barry was pitching, and pitched well in that series finale in Anaheim. And the A's won. It's the only game they won. But I think Stephen Vogt asked him, and he said he was thrilled to be able to catch him on Saturday at the Coliseum and on Wednesday in Anaheim. And of course, he noticed a huge difference in pitch location, the sharpness of the breaking ball. Stephen actually grew up watching. Grew up a Northern California guy, so he said, I watched the Big Three. So he gets a chance to catch one of them, one of the all-time greats. He was thrilled.
Valencia scoops it across the diamond, 2 outs. Aaron Brooks doing a good job tonight, right? He does not have any strikeouts, but he's only allowed a couple of hits. So that's nice to see. He had a couple good starts to get his career going with the A's, but since then he's struggled some. His last start wasn't too bad, 3 runs in 7 innings against the Astros.
And for these young pitchers, Aaron Brooks starting tonight, this is like a postseason start.
It should be.
Absolutely. You know, to a lot of people, it means really not much of anything, but for a pitcher trying to show that he can pitch at this level, get an opportunity. So many guys on the disabled list, pitcher-wise. There are so many guys on the DL. Some wanted to fly up here. There wasn't enough room on the plane.
The plane is full. There are no extra seats.
Yeah, I was just happy the great Mickey Morbido didn't come to several in the TV crew and radio and said, hey, guys, get your own flight. We got too many players.
We were close.
Yeah. But Mickey, as always, took care of us.
Although, from what I understand, a lot of the players will not be on the charter going home. They will be flying out of Seattle and going right to their off-season homes, which is very common.
Or in the case of Stephen Vogt, the A's catcher, he will drive an hour and 10 minutes to Tumwater.
So Smith with the 2-out walk. You know what? You can't really blame the players. I mean, they want to get home, and
absolutely,
they could fly right out of here. The game is at noon on Sunday. So guys will be sleeping in their off-season beds Sunday night.
Barry's heading back to Nashville to continue his songwriting career. Got his family with him here as they were in Anaheim.
Morrison shoots a foul back left side. Well, it is a strange time of year, really, for anybody involved in baseball when Monday gets here. You're so engrossed in a baseball season, games almost every day, and you really go from full speed to a full stop.
That's right.
And it's a very strange feeling for about 4 or 5 days.
And I think I just proved it by not knowing what today was.
It's okay.
Because they're all the same. Another game.
Seth Smith thought there was 1 out, but there's actually 2. The catch made it 3. Seth Smith is late in the year as well.
1,000 acres, destroyed more than 800 homes. Help provide relief to victims who suffered significant losses by donating through the A's Community Fund at athletics.com/fire. Every dollar collected, that's important, will be donated to disaster relief funds. Donate now at athletics.com/fire. Those 3 words, every dollar collected, those are the most important words that they will be donated. And you know where your money's going, and that's a good cause, and we hope you contribute.
So top of the 5th inning, A's leading 2-0. It'll be Fold, Burns, and Canna. Sam Fold singled and scored in the 3rd inning. Astros still leading the Diamondbacks. It's now 7-2 in the top of the 6th inning in Arizona. Astros trying to hold on to the 2nd wild card spot in the American League. Yankees have the top spot, but the Yankees got rained out. There were 3 rainouts today, Ray. Marlins at Philadelphia.
Doesn't mean anything.
Yankees at Orioles, rained out. Nats at Mets, rained out. And I bring that up simply because the hurricane that's sort of headed toward the East Coast, there is some concern. Obviously, there's always concern, and there's much more important things than baseball games, but some concern about the rain next week, postseason. Maybe could be a game in New York, could be more than one game in New York due to the Mets and the Yankees. But the hurricane is headed in that direction from what we understand. And today's Friday. We did figure that out. And look ahead to next week. Be a lot of baseball played next week.
Well, a lot. It could start as early as Monday, because if there's any potential ties that have to be played off, that would be Monday before the division or the play in wild card begins.
Nice play by Morrison. Fires to Iwakuma, and they just got Sam full. That's a nice play by first baseman and by pitcher.
What do you think? Somebody very slow was running, but both Morrison and Iwakuma kind of slow motion. And Sam Fold busting it down the line, and Morrison taking a few extra steps. Nice feed though to Iwakuma. He barely got it. But Morrison robbed Brett Laurie of extra bases, or at least 2 runs. He did drive in 1. And a nice play by Morrison, and Sam Fold trying to get his 2nd hit of the night and just barely thrown out.
So 1 away for Burns.
He's thinking about his offseason. And Morrison looked at it, was like, let's see, this is Friday, Saturday. You know, Kev, I said about Miami and Philadelphia didn't mean anything. There's Philadelphia. They're 62 and 97. There's also the bad records that result in high draft choices. And home field advantage might concern the Mets and the Yankees.
Yep, no question.
So, well, the Yankees won't get it because they're a wild card team. So wild card teams don't get home field except the World Series. The Yankees and the American League would get. That's would think would be the only time. But the Mets, of course, division winners.
But the Mets and the Dodgers are going to play each other in the first round in the division series. And coming into today, they both have the exact same record. So there is a home field advantage to be determined there. So the Mets don't play tonight due to the rainout. The Dodgers are playing. The Dodgers are winning. So division series, 5 games. And that's going to be an East Coast, West Coast series. Wow. So that brings the rain into play
yes,
there. That series will start on Friday.
Yep. Wednesday the wild card play in, Thursday off, Friday for them. The American League starts Thursday.
So Dodgers and Mets will start on Friday. Burns shoots one up the middle, and he's got a base hit. So Billy Burns is 2 for 3.
And Billy Burns came into tonight's game hitting .299. He has 2 hits, so he's over 300. And we can probably get the exact number, but let's see if one of those things about, well, take him out, sit on his average. Billy might be the type of guy that said, I want to play. A la Ted Williams. He played a doubleheader. Ted, you sit out, you hit 400. I'll play. Hit 407. Oh, my apologies. 294 coming in. My 9 and my 4 got mixed up.
Well, then he needs a big.
So he's at 296. So he need to play all weekend. That's right.
Burns now has 152 hits in 124 games. So if you just stretch that out, and if he were to play a full season, let's say he plays 155 games, just as a number, being out there pretty much every day. I mean, you're talking 180, 190 hits.
That's right.
That's hard to do.
And he's only going to get better, folks, because Billy Burns' rookie season, the top 2 batters in the A's lineup are rookies, and Burns and Cannon, and they've been there a lot of the season, especially second half.
Canna. That's a strike.
I thought it's interesting. Mark Canna around the batting cage, recent homestand. He said, and here's a rookie, Rule 5 rookie. He said, we've got a good team. We're going to get very good. And he said, we're going to be a team that others are going to be looking at. So that's pretty impressive for a rookie to say that, considering just trying to get through his first major league season.
So 1-1 to Cannon. And these are things that we look at. You were talking about Burns and the batting average. And I think managers look at it. Take Cannon, for instance. Right now, Ray, he's hitting 251. You do not want him to go under 250.
Yeah.
Now, that's a tough spot, though, because there's still 2.5 games left to the season.
Yeah.
He's probably going to play them both. I don't know. But you'd hate to see Canna go under 250. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is.
That's a big number.
It is. I mean, it in the baseball world, you don't want to hit under 250.
That's right.
251 looks a lot better than 249.
300 looks better than 299.
Exactly.
But you know, the thing about Canna this season, and one thing that is really impressive about him, is that he was up, he went down, he got up. So he's had his ups and downs, they say, and not surprising as a rookie. So it might be something that, hypothetically, if he did get close to that, I'll say, let's just see how he recovers the last 2 games. Who knows? And maybe he would say the same thing. I mean, the great thing to hear is some of these players going to the manager and saying, I want to play all these games. And the roster for both clubs is enough that you could sit your everyday players and play guys that you called up for September, but neither manager in this game is doing that. And you're looking at the guys who want to play, and that's impressive. That's a credit to the players. A couple of strikeouts for Mark Canna.
This one hit in the air toward right. Easy play for Trumbo. So Canna now 0 for 3, and with 2 outs, Reddick will hit.
One thing of Billy Burns being at first base, Iwakuma taking a little bit extra look at him, but with as many split finger fastballs as he's thrown tonight, good pitch to run on. Well, it looked like Canna got more fastballs in his at bat.
Reddick has struck out twice, both times swinging. He got a good pitch to hit there, fouled it straight back. The Pirates beat the Reds tonight 6-4 in 12 innings in Pittsburgh, and may not seem like it would mean much, but what it does for the Pirates is it guarantees them that they will host the wild card game against the Cubs on Wednesday. So that is official. Cubs at Pirates, National League wild card game. And that one hit into right center for a base hit. Burns will round second, and he'll easily go to third. So Reddick has his first hit tonight. A's now with 8 hits off Iwakuma. Iwakuma had 7 strikeouts in the first 3 innings. He has not had any in the last 2 innings.
And as a splitter, stayed with it, and Reddick went down to get it. And you see Billy Burns at first. I think what we're going to see in not too distant future is Billy Burns looking at this inning and saying, here's a guy throwing a lot of splitters. I got a chance to get in scoring position where a base hit will score him. Now he's at third with 2 outs. But that's part of the game. He's going to continue to work with Ricky Henderson. He's going to continue to get on base, and when he does, while he creates a big threat for the infield and the pitcher, probably going to create more by stealing bases.
Valencia takes down and away.
And Cap, I think these are situations that we have looked at and say, why isn't he running? Why not get to second where a base hit can swarm with 2 outs versus a base hit to center? He gets it first to third and 2 outs. But you take a chance. If you're thrown out, so be it. But at least you tried to get in the scoring position where a single can score you.
Valencia a double, a single, and a run score. Man, that one spins in there first strike. 1-1 the count. Valencia has double to right and single to left. Astros are adding on to their lead. They now lead 10-2 in the 6th inning. They've scored 3 in the 6th. So 1-2. Base stealers 1 for 3. That's it. How about that? Not very many stolen bases, but I'm saying, how about attempts?
Yeah,
only 3.
Yeah.
So he's doing something right.
Well, he can be quick, but still, as many splitters, unless, I mean, as many statistics as there are, they can probably tell runner on base, maybe not as many splitters, because splitters almost not quite as bad as a knuckleball. A splitter's a tough pitch to catch and have timing for a catcher.
And a 1-2 pitch, a high fastball, and Valencia swings and misses, side retired. A's get 2 hits and they strand a pair. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It'll be Miller, Sucre, and Marte. 2-0 A's. It was 15 years ago yesterday, last day of the regular season. A's defeat the Rangers 3-0. Tim Hudson got his 20th win that day, and A's clinched the AL West for their first playoff appearance in 1992. Isringhausen with the big breaking ball and the strikeout. That was the start of 4 consecutive trips to the postseason. That was October 1st, 2000. Ray, you were there.
Yeah, it was great. I was just going to say, if I encourage people to buy diamond level seats so they can walk down the visiting tunnel where the players go down, walk down to diamond level, and they can see that shot of Izzy coming off the mound, pumping his fist up, both arms after the strikeout. And Tim Hudson in that game walked in the dugout and said, "Give me one, guys. All I need is one run." And he got 1 or 2, and that was it. If they had lost, they go to Tampa for a makeup game due to a hurricane, Pat, just like you talked about, the hurricane on the East Coast right now. That was staring them in the face, and I'm glad they didn't have to go, to be honest, because Jason Giambi would have gone with just what he had on. His clothes.
His uniform?
Yeah, because he said, "I'm not bringing a suitcase to the park," and he didn't. And he said, "We're not going anywhere," and they didn't. So that was very nice. A great series, and it's amazing how it's the Rangers that seem to be at the Coliseum.
Sam Fuld going back, and Miller goes the other way, a solo home run, and the Mariners are on the board. Home run number 11 for Miller. And going opposite field in this ballpark, not easy to do, but the pitch was up and out over the plate.
And you might have thought that was possible when Miller in his first at bat went to left field on base hit. But this pitch, that's a very good stroke. And Jerry DiPoto, the new manager, our general manager, is talking about this home field advantage, maybe not so much for the Mariners because of the distance of the fences, but Miller made it small going opposite.
So now a 2-1 game, and Jesus Sucre steps in. That's the 9th home run Brooks has allowed this year. So that's been a little bit of an issue. 9 home runs allowed in 54 innings. Make that 52 innings.
Mike Selleck puts together the greatest notes, and they were so bad. But talking about the number of home runs.
That one's hit to left. That's trouble into the corner, and it's not caught by Fuld, and Sucre's going to head to second with a double.
What happened?
I thought Sam Fuld had a beat on it.
I did too. Another pitch left up, and Sucre thought he had a chance for the home run. Sam Fuld got to it and overran it. Just absolutely overran it and had to reach back and could not get it.
Well, you do not see Sam Fuld make a defensive mistake very often. He always gets good jumps, catches everything.
Yeah, too good of a jump.
He did. He just overran it. And that'll bring up Ketel Marte. First pitch, sinker down and away to Marte, who has grounded to short and popped to short. So a chance for the Mariners to tie up the ball game. Shows bunt, takes inside 2-0. So if you're Marte, a young player, looks like he's got a chance to be pretty good. Even if you have to drag bunt here, Ray, to get the runner to third.
Yep.
You might get a base hit, who knows, with his speed. But you have to get the runner over. Now he's heading the count 3-0.
And he's done a good job with facing the A's, at least using the whole field. And if they pitch him away, he may try to shoot it to left because there's such a huge hole on the left side.
And it's low. So a 4-pitch walk. Well, we mentioned Tim Hudson and that great performance on the final day of 2000. He has finished his career. He started yesterday for the Giants, and that is his final big league start. And he has officially announced his retirement. So he's going to finish his terrific career with 222 career wins. A's, Braves, Giants, over 2,000 strikeouts. He was an all-star 4 times. He was the first of the big 3 to get to the big leagues. Man, he was terrific. Fun to watch. Good guy. So we wish him the best of luck in his retirement.
So all the big 3 over the weekend. 2 pitched on Saturday. Martin Mulder visited with us on Sunday. Tim Hudson pitched yesterday. Barry Zito Wednesday. So 2/3 of the big three will sit and watch this final weekend and be fans. Although Barry did say, hey, Skip, I'm available to pin if you need me. Just in case. Although he may be in the shutdown mode right now.
So 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. And this is the big fellas in this Mariner lineup. So trouble brewing here for Aaron Brooks. Seager, a fly ball to center and hit on the foot. He's in the 3rd inning. Good changeup there from Brooks. 82 miles an hour. If the changeup's working, Brooks usually pitches fairly well. Daniel Colon starts to throw the lefty. Seager hits it up the middle right to Sogard. Out at second on the first, double play. So Sogard playing right behind second base and hard hit ground ball right to him. So it's a 6-4-3 double play to retire Seager.
Seager with 26 home runs. Maybe Lord McClendon wants him to get to 80 because they're down by a run, first and second, nobody out. He swings the bat, 4-6-3 or 6-4-3 double play. Plenty of time for Brett Lowry, and he hurried the throw. Glad it was a good one. But all these numbers come into play in the final weekend of the season because the Mariners and the A's both out of it. The A's have finished last. The Mariners have finished 4th. Big double play.
And Nelson Cruz comes through with a 2-out RBI single to tie up the game at 2-2. Sogard with a great effort. Just could not come up with it. So RBI number 93 for Nelson Cruz.
Just to the left, Sogard, ball back in on the hands of Nelson Cruz. But you pitch him in there enough, he'll pull the hands in as he does on this one, and it just shot past Sogard. Anybody else, maybe without that kind of acceleration of the ball hitting the ground, and he escaped to catch it. So Sogard slips on the stuff, and he just got a face full of it.
Yeah, he's had enough of the. He says no thanks is what he's saying. So that'll bring up Cano. So the Mariners have scored twice here in the 5th to tie up the game. Mariners have been tough on the A's this year. They have won 12 out of the 16 games played. In the air, playable for Sanford. And Ford has it side retired. So 2 runs on 3 hits for Seattle. We're through 5. It's now a 2-2 game.
camp, because you can join Jose Canseco, Dave Henderson, and other former A's players for the 2016 Oakland Athletics Fantasy Camp, held from January the 15th to 21st at the A's new spring training facility, Mesa, Arizona. Get out of the stands and onto the field. Create lasting memories with former A's greats. For more details, go to hendersonbaseball.com, or you can call 509-993-7338. Got a throwback A's cap and a kind of a handlebar mustache. Probably fit in perfectly.
He would probably get fined in kangaroo court for that. So it's now a 2-2 game. So Iwakuma looking for his 10th win of the year. He was trailing 2-0. Now it's 2-2 as it's Vogt, Butler, and Laurie. He's had 8 hits off Iwakuma. He has struck out 8. This one hit high in the air, deep right center field. Miller's back. He's on the warning track, and he makes the catch. So one away here in the 6th. But the September is now behind us, and some of the good things that happen all around Major League Baseball. Best records: Angels, Blue Jays, 18-9. In the National League, the Cubs, no surprise there. See the home run leaders? Nolan Arenado has had an unbelievable season. 40 hits. Shin-Soo Choo with a big month. Jake Arrieta, the ERA in September, 0.45. And the National League Cy Young conversation has become very, very interesting, because I think for a long time it was Greinke or Kershaw. It probably Greinke, but I think now, I think Arrieta may have as good a chance as either of those guys. He's been so good. 20-game winner.
Is he pitching tonight? So he's pitching tonight.
So he got his 21st win tonight.
So you know when he pitch again? In Pittsburgh on Wednesday.
I'm going to say Wild Card Wednesday.
That's it. I remember they gave John Lester a huge contract for a lot of money. And Jake Arrieta, where would the Cubs have been without him?
He's actually shortchanged him. He's got 22 wins. So let's just check here a little bit for argument's sake. So Arrieta is 22-6. Greinke is 18-3. Kershaw is 16-7. But you got to look at the Kershaw strikeouts, 294. And Kershaw also leads the league in innings pitched. Miller more action, and he's got it. But I think it's probably down. How can you say that Kershaw's out of it? But I think it's probably Greinke and.
What's Arrieta and Greinke's ERAs?
Arrieta is 1.82 coming into tonight. Greinke is 1.68, so now it's 1.77. So there's really not much difference in the ERA. 1.68 to 1.77.
Wow.
And you got 22 wins. Greinke's got 18. I mean, that's 4 wins. That's significant.
Well, let's not forget they haven't changed the rules on MVP for pitcher, have they? Because
that's true.
You look at the Cubs, and again, 22 wins of their successful season, postseason, of course, trying to win the World Series since 1908. And the Cubs this year, 94 wins. He has 22, 95 now with 22 wins for him.
Arrieta has more innings pitched than Greinke, but not by a lot. He's got more strikeouts than Greinke.
Cubs are 30 games over 500 in the Central Division.
Little flare. Cano out, and he can't get it, and it falls, and nobody's covered second base. So hustling is Laurie, and he slides head first, and he's got a double. Well, he looked up. Very good base running. He noticed there was nobody covering second base. So let me ask you this, Ray. If second base is vacated, should it be the pitcher?
Pitcher or first baseman? And Brett Laurie, remember he covered first on over the weekend against the Giants on a bases loaded. But Brad Miller hustling in. But you're right, pitcher, first baseman. Morrison got there but late. But Brett Lawrie with 2 outs, hustled all the way. He looks and he goes, I got it. I can outrun Morrison, and he does. But the pitcher, Iwakuma, is not even in the picture.
It's probably Iwakuma.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think Logan Morrison's ever going to win that race.
Wait, remember last year in Toronto on the Jim Johnson bases loaded play, and a similar fly ball to center field. He was there at second, and a play in which the runner was safe. They reviewed it, called him out, and they called him out. Play stood, but you know, a pitcher. I mean, you're just standing there. You got to, if you see an open base, you have to get to the base. You can always take your time, get back to your pitcher position, and catch your breath.
And that's a huge 90 feet.
Yep.
Means they go ahead and run.
Even better for Eric Sogard can come through. The A's in this game in the second, a runner third, 1 out, a strikeout. Same in the third, runner third, a strikeout. Double play last inning. So they've had their opportunities, but a little bugaboo this year, and that is leave a runner on base, less than 2 outs. At third base, less than 2 outs.
And now Sogard behind in the count, 0-2.
So if the A's had executed their runner from third, Aaron Brooks would have a 5-2 lead. Right now it's 2-2. He's trying to get a 2-out hit.
Lawrie not being held at second, so he's going to be able to get a big lead and a big jump. And there's a line drive, and it's grabbed by the shortstop Marte, and a nice play, side retired. So Lawrie is stranded. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's a 2-2 game.
Scoring has been this: a pickoff attempt to first, and then a bad throw to second. That's one E6. Throw to the outfield. Marte going after it. Fold coming around, tries to score. He's successful. E6 again with the ball getting past Sucre. And then Brett Lawrie. Great play by Morrison. That's going to turn out to be a big one because the A's only scored 1 run in the inning. And then Brad Miller, an opposite field solo home run, making it a 2-1 game. And a big double play turned by the A's, but the man has hit 44 home runs, drives in a run with 2 outs. That is Nelson Cruz, ties the game at 2-2. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world.
Trumbo to lead it off here in the bottom of the 6th. Brooks does not have a strikeout. 7 ground ball outs, 8 fly ball outs. He has walked 2. He's about to throw pitch number 74. And really, Ray, it's too bad in the 5th inning he gave up the home run, but the Sucre double was really really should have been an out.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. You're exactly right. And
center field, deep but room. Burns is there, 1 out.
You get the feeling that this kind of dreary climate is kind of like the Coliseum, where the ball is hit well and hit hard. You think, oh, got it. Doesn't even get to the warning track. And remember, this is a canopy, a carport, if you will, because while it's closed, so the rain cannot prevent a game from being played, the elements are still here.
Yep.
That makes a huge difference.
See that area, see the Safeco Field sign, and then above that, that's all open.
Yeah.
And it's all the way open behind the big scoreboard in center field. It just slides right over top.
Yeah, with all the rain they could get in the wintertime, they could close it and keep these seats nice and dry. But the elements come in, so it's don't have to heat the place as they do in Arizona and against Tampa Bay, different places. They cool and heat.
Well, they get plenty of rain up here.
They hope to get a lot more, just like Northern California.
Hit high and fouled on the left field line.
You know, Cap, speaking of this roof here in Seattle, and this is game 160 for the A's, 61 and 62 the next two. That means the A's this season will not have had one delay in 162 games.
No, we're good. We're going to make it.
And because of the roof, there's no way there's going to be a delay here. Well, I say that unless the lights go out.
Because, rain delay. How about that?
Rain delay. But really not a delay at all. That is hard to believe. And of course, 162 games, 6 months, traveling all the way across the country, different climates. And now you're talking about the hurricane on the East Coast,
sure,
and the rainouts that have occurred this past week. And we are sitting here with not even a delay. So come on, lights, work tomorrow night. And then we should have it all set on Sunday.
Smith is retired, 4-3 on the putout. And I mean, I'm sure there probably has been. I don't even recall tarp on the fields right up to game time. I don't recall any of that. And there may have been a couple times this year, but
I mean, they got rained out in Anaheim.
Yeah.
And that's unusual. Of course, nobody's ever going to. That reminds us his last two rainouts were in Oakland, which it never rains in California. It's that song, is that it?
Our first long road trip this year was, well, our first road trip was Houston, Kansas City, LA, and then the second long road trip, Texas, Minnesota, Seattle.
That's right. Jesse Chavez started when he went 8 innings. It did rain that game, but there was no delay. Put the tarp on. Jesse talking about the pace of the game was slowed down considerably because he had to keep getting the dirt and the mud out of his cleats, but played through it without a delay.
1-1 to Morrison, just a bit outside. Close pitch, 2-1. Well, there's places where you always seem to have the tarp. I mean, Boston, I don't think it's probably like this for everybody, but it always seems like when we go to Boston, the tarp is usually out at least one game.
I think a couple of years ago when the A's opened their first road series in Minneapolis, they figured there's no way. And actually, the home opener for the Twins ended up being the best.
Yeah, it was nice weather.
Best weather they had in 4 days.
Canna, backhand, fires to Brooks, and Brooks has a 3-up, 3-down, 6th inning. So we are headed to the 7th at Safeco. 2-2 A's Mariners.
MLB.com Premium. Watch every out-of-market game live on more than 400 supported devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widgets, and more. Visit MLB.tv today.
So 7th inning, Sam Fuld to lead things off. Sam Fuld has singled and scored, and he has been robbed of a hit by Logan Morrison. First pitch is on the inside corner, first strike.
Strike zone is widened a little bit by Polnard. It was a little tight early, but it's a pitch bottom last inning that was called a strike. Looked like it might have been outside.
Close pitch there, and it's called the ball. 1-1 to count. See where Troy Tulowitzki was back in the lineup tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays. That's a big deal for them.
So just his return had to inspire that ball club.
That is a fair ball. Morrison tags out Fuld, so a quick out. Action, Danny Farquhar for the Mariners.
Iwakuma 14 wins in 13 and 15 wins last year. Trying to get to 10 this season.
He's got a good career. I mean, this is only his 4th year pitching in the States, but his career record over here is 47-25. That's pretty good.
Injured this year, so he's not made as many starts, and thus his win total's down a little bit, but still a good pitcher, and the Mariners not surprised. And you think about the Mariners in recent history, going back to Ichiro, then Sasaki, then Jojima, and now Iwakuma. So there's a lot of Japanese-born players that sign with the Mariners.
Iwakuma backhands, throws to first, 2 away. Well, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people think he will re-sign with the Mariners.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah. Just wonder, though, with Jerry DiPoto taking over as the new general manager, and his one statement about the record on the road versus record at home. And while this is a tough place to hit home runs, look at right center, 380. That's deep. And you go 376 at left center, 401 to center. They did move the fences in left center, but it's still a big yard. And if there's some concern, they can always petition Major League Baseball and do something with the fences. Especially if you have a poor home record and you have to change your style of play for home when you have power hitters that get frustrated.
Yep.
It could make some changes, and the new general manager can step in and make his decisions.
Seager gives ground to get a good hop and throws out Canna. So Canna's 0 for 4, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Iwakuma. 7th inning stretch coming up. It's a 2-2 game.
is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
We got in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan. Know it all with Sportsnet Central. It's all brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30, and it's on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. We'll have a one-on-one conversation with Luke Walters, stepping in for Steve Kerr. Raiders discuss facing the Chicago Bears in Chicago and Oakland. The 49ers preparation for the Green Bay Packers. Mindy Bach and Ed Freed will host.
Who? Green Bay who?
Yeah, Packers will be at Levi Stadium. The Raiders will be in Chicago. Brooks back out there as he faces Miller, Sucre, and Marte here in the bottom of the 7th. Good ball game, 2-2. Coulombe still throwing, and now Fernando Rodriguez joins him. Sliced foul. This is what Miller did in the 5th inning.
Look at the location, and that a very good swing by Miller, but the location really attributed to his success of going opposite field with the drive.
Pitch number 87 coming from Brooks. It's that foul again. This one headed for the upper deck, and it's into the upper deck.
Well, the great Hall of Famer Robin Yount has to be feeling great if seeing all these former shortstops becoming center fielders.
Yep.
Brad Miller, one of those. Robin Yount, of course, did it with the Milwaukee Brewers many years ago. Paul Molitor doing his job on the infield. Yeah, a great shortstop, great center fielder. Came up at the age of 19, wearing the number 19. Spent his whole career with the Brewers. County Stadium.
Left field, the base hit. So again, a hit the other way from Miller. So that is the new Mariners general manager, Jerry Dipoto, just hired this past Monday. He was, of course, the general manager with the Angels for a while and did not work out there. So he takes over here, and we'll see what he does.
Back to 3 former major league players, now general managers, joining the A's Billy Beane, Dave Stewart, Jerry Dipoto. So for him to have left the Angels and
Canna picked it up. It'll be a sacrifice.
Sucre was peeling off. You could just backed up and I don't know if the ball looked like it's going to stay fair all the way, but when it's on the dirt, looked like it had the spin to take it foul. And it was picked up immediately.
So now it's Marte, the switch hitter. Bob Melvin grabs the lineup card. He'll keep a close eye on that. Do you think, Ray, if you're Jerry Dipoto, probably the first order of business is you have to decide if Lloyd McClendon's your guy?
Exactly. And as a general manager, you have your own philosophies, your way of doing things, and well, the manager, in this case Lloyd McClendon, be that guy. Take a look at this ball. See if it's going to roll foul, because it's on the dirt. And see, Canna could just back up and go along with it, because Sucre just was trotting down the line. And he picked it up, and again, he could maybe determine if it's going to stay fair. But, man, you give yourself a chance to at least back up and go along, hope that it goes foul, because you do not want to that easily put the runner in scoring position.
Marte with the go-ahead run at second base. 0 for 2 with a walk for the young shortstop. Swing and a miss. He was trying to hit a 2-run homer.
And inside, the ball coming back just enough. Big swing by Marte. He's hit 2 home runs. I think Lloyd McClendon and Jerry Dipoto would like to see a single. Shorten the swing just a little bit.
Astros got good speed at second base. And now they count 2-2. Close pitch. The A's dugout wanted to know where that pitch was.
Well, they knew they had the height, and Stephen Vogt would confirm by indicating where he thought it was, and maybe he said it was a good pitch because he did hold the mitt. Impressive. Brooks in the 7th inning, 95th pitch coming up.
And he's swinging a pitch in the dirt. Vogt finds it, throws to first, and that's the second out. That is the first strikeout for Aaron Brooks tonight.
First and probably the biggest, especially the changeup that threw it in the dirt and got to swing and miss. Stephen Vogt couldn't find it, but once he did, threw it quickly. So great pitch coming out of the hand of Aaron Brooks to get the strikeout, and that was a big one. Did Kyle Seager and Jared Weaver get a chance to introduce each other to?
Yeah, I hope so. Weaver didn't know who he was. Which
well, they've been an all-star. Yeah. Pretty good third base.
And there's a shot foul. And obviously, Weaver does know who he is. It's sort of a weak attempt at trying to act like he doesn't care.
Well, the thing Seager does, and we saw the future Hall of Famer Derek Jeter step to the plate, and Jeter would always put up his right hand, asking for time so he could get set. And you know, that's the last time the A's were in Seattle. Kyle Seager was doing the same thing, and evidently Jared Weaver took exception to that. See if he is continuing that.
I don't know if that's reason enough to throw it.
I agree. I agree. Although he's not doing it now.
Now it's 0-2.
No, I agree. I mean, hitters, I think we both agree that the pitcher's ready to pitch. And hitters at times will take a lot of time. They have kind of a ritual to go through to get themselves set in the box. So we vote with the fist and saying, give me a good pitch.
Fastball away, 95 miles an hour from Brooks. 1-2. Seager a fly out to center, then hit by a pitch, and then a 6-4-3 double play. Glory backhands, throws, and Canna digs it out. So Brooks 7 strong innings tonight here in Seattle. Nicely done on his final start of this 2015 season, and this is how the bottom of the 7th ended. 2-2 game as we go to the 8th.
2016 spring training trip as home dates for games at Holcomb Park have been announced. So have first-class experience, get an early glimpse of next year's squad at the A's all-new spring training venue in Mesa, Arizona. For more information, visit athletics.com/spring training or spring today. That's athletics.com/spring today. And oh, by the way, you can go to that facility for fantasy camp and then just stick around for spring training.
True.
So we all said. So January, go see what the facility's like. You go back in March to spring training. The games.
Settle in.
Set.
Or you can just go January, February, March. Just
stay the whole 3 months. That's right. If you don't have a job, you can do that.
Hey, when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts as Danny Farquhar comes in. Sashi Iwakuma goes 7 innings tonight, and he will not be his 10th. Reddick loops one into right field, the base hit. So a good start for the A's here in the top of the 8th inning. Reddick is 2 for 4. 2 singles, 2 strikeouts.
But going after the first pitch, and don't have to worry about a splitter. Farquhar, a good pitcher.
Now have 10 hits in the game. They've out-hit the Mariners 10-6. The Mariners have made 2 errors in the game. Costly. 2 errors on 1 play. Aaron Brooks tonight, 7 innings, 2 earned runs. So he's done a nice job.
Well, might be finished for the night, which looks like he is. Bullpen busy for the A's, and if that's the case, Mariners could not score a run for Iwakuma. Try to do that for Aaron Brooks and put him in line for a victory.
Now Valencia takes a very long walk. He did not think this was a strike. So the count 0-2 with Reddick aboard. Outfield pulled to left and deep. The center fielders playing extremely deep. He's out there. You can see him. He's that little guy way out there.
Pitching Valencia away as they have been doing. The Angels and now Seattle tonight.
Driven left center. Miller's back, and that baby's gone, and the A's lead 4-2. So a huge home run by Valencia. He's got a single, double, and now a home.
Well, he likes his park. He got Iwakuma here back in August, and he's had a very good series against the Mariners in general. Going back to the series, the Friday night, the grand slam in the first inning of Olmus.
It is a foul ball.
Well, he didn't like the breaking ball, but this time went after a fastball. It was up and away. Gone. He knew how hard he hit it. He watched the outfielder, Brad Miller, and that is a swing on a pitch really out of the strike zone, but a high fastball, and he got to it.
Look at the catcher.
Yep.
See how he reached up. That tells you it was quite a ways out of the strike zone.
So Aaron Brooks, if you are finished, you have a 2-run lead at least.
To the count to Stephen Vogt. Vogt has hit a couple of fly balls to center field, and he has singled. Kensing, right-hander, starts to throw for Seattle. Dole standing out in the A's bullpen, getting ready to loosen up. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Vogt. So Stephen Vogt strikes out. He's now 1 for 4. A's have struck out 9 times tonight.
Farquhar was a splitter, and Iwakuma brought one. Farquhar also, but unlike Iwakuma, the 2 strikes to Valencia, he went fastball up and it left in a hurry.
First pitch to Butler in first strike. Butler also 1 for 3. His base hit was in the 4th inning. He's with 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 2 here in the 8th on the Valencia home run. Toward right, Trumbo back a couple steps. So for Bob Melvin, it's set up the way a manager would like it.
Right. 7-1-1.
Yeah, you can go to your 8th inning guy and then your closer.
Well, the key 7 innings, solid innings for Aaron Brooks, and Ardot will try maybe to solidify his position in the future for the A's in the bullpen, because I agree with you. This is the position that he would like to see Doe in. Doe on Wednesday picked up his first win. It's an inning and 2/3, gave up 1 run. So he's been used quite a bit in this month of September, and unlike many who say March and September, you forget about those 2 months. The A's are trying to figure a team out in the future by maybe looking at this month of September.
Yep. Hustle double for Laurie in the 6th inning. Broken bat right back to Farquhar. He grabs it side retired, but the A's get a big hit from Danny Valencia. A 2-run homer to deep left center field. It's his 17th of the year. So Valencia gives the A's the lead 4-2 after 7.5 innings.
SN California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 4-11-0 for the A's, 2-6-2 for the Mariners. Aaron Brooks very good, just 2 earned runs in 7 innings, 11 ground ball outs. The big hit, Danny Valencia, 2-run shot in the top half of this inning. Iwakuma went 7 innings, 1 earned run. And Brad Miller's had a big night, 3 hits, a homer, and a couple of singles. But if you look at this game now, that one play is huge, Rick. The pickoff play, which really These their first run, and anytime it's a one-run game, these things become important. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Ryan Dahl comes in. So the rookie right-hander will face Cruz, Cano, and Trumbo. So it's not going to be easy. Cruz with a big swing, looking for home run number 45. So Cruz had an RBI single in the 5th inning. He's also grounded out twice. Fastball, 91 miles an hour with some late movement.
You know, the nice thing about Ryan Dahl, he throws hard, but it's almost like he just lulls you and then he comes at you.
Yeah.
With that little late delivery. Watch this right there. And that's a good pitch.
Laurie throws, and they cannot dig it out. And Cruz is going to be aboard. So it'll be a hit for Cruz.
This time Brett Laurie, even though last inning he threw off balance, this time going to his right with the shift into the outfield, took his time in the strong throw, and if the throw had been a little bit farther out in front of Canna, he might have come up with it. This is a short hop, tough play for Mark Canna at first base. Could not handle it. If he catches it, he's out. And that's the difference of the throw out in front a little bit more. Tough for an infielder to do that, especially second baseman playing in the outfield grass in left field.
So here's Cano. Trumbo in the on-deck circle. Outside. By the way, that game in Arizona, Ray, it's now 17-2. The Astros are beating the Diamondbacks. So Dallas Keuchel is going to get his 20th win tonight. 17-2. And they're in the 8th inning. Astros will wrap that up, and they will maintain that number 2 wild card spot. Two and 0 to Cano. Foul back. It's interesting, Ray. Tomorrow, the Twins will play a day game, and the Angels and the Rangers will play day game. The Astros will play a night game.
The network stepping in and taking the important games on Saturday.
Early. 10 a.m. West Coast start times for those 2 early games. Good pitch right on the outside corner. 2-2. Cano thought it was outside.
That's a great pitch for Dahl for a number of reasons. Number one, to left-handers, he's had difficulty, if there has been any for him, which are rare. But with the nail the outside corner. And 26 years young today for Ryan Dahl. So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Get a hold.
October the 2nd.
Grounded to Valencia. He's got it. Out at second. On to first. Double play. 5-4-3. The A's turn it on Cano. And now there are 2 outs and nobody on base.
Well, there's your shift, and there's a ball hit perfectly to the third baseman playing near short. And Brett Laurie able to turn the double play quickly. That is huge. Stayed away from Robinson Cano, who has very good opposite field power, but they stayed with him, got a ground ball, and that quickly. 11 ground ball outs for Aaron Brooks. That's 2 big ones for Ron Dahl.
And a first pitch slider, strike to Trumbo. Trumbo is 0 for 3. Another good slider. This is a swinging strike.
How about another one?
Sure.
Just as hard. Start it maybe outside corner. Tease him a little bit with it. Give him a chase slider. Don't hang it. Throw it hard. Pat yourself on the back. Say happy birthday.
Yeah, that's a good tease pitch right there. So we'll see what he comes back with.
It's a young pitcher who has performed well for the Athletics in the month of September. His first time in the big leagues, and he's going with his catcher Stephen Bell. Another slider. Stay with it.
And he got him. So nicely done by Dull. Gets the double play and then the strikeout. And we're through 8 innings in Seattle. 4-2 Athletics lead. Fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to CSNCA Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Our fan photo tonight is from Chris Tevitt. We appreciate Chris sending in the photo. Let's go A's with the Z. Must be Zito.
That's a good one.
So Sogard, Fold, and Burns against Farquhar here in the top of the ninth. He's leading 4-2. He's trying to win for just the second time here at Safeco Field this year. They're 1-5. Looks like it's going to be up to Sean Doolin to try to save it for Aaron Brooks.
And trying to make it a little bit easier than he did on Wednesday when he threw a bunch of pitches Wednesday and got the save. Sean Doolittle, especially against Albert Pujols.
Sogard pops it up. It should reach the seats anyway.
See how many games Stephen Vogt catches this weekend. Like I said earlier, he would like to catch all 3. He had about 3 weeks off. And
he's fresh, right?
He's definitely fresh. Got a lot left in the tank.
Hit well to right center field. Trumbo on the move, and Trumbo, a nice running play. So 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. Sharks hockey returns to CSN California. Coming up on Saturday, October 10th, it's the home opener against the Ducks. The home of the authentic Sharks fan is CSN California. A's coming up. Sam Fuld scored the A's first run. That was in the third inning. Farquhar on in relief of Iwakuma. Up the first base line. Nice play by Farquhar. And he flips. So 2 away here in the ninth inning. Tomorrow to be Sean Nolan and Elias, a couple of young left-handers. The game will start an hour earlier. It's a 6:10 first pitch. So 5:30 will get you started with A's pregame live, and then Sunday, A's have not announced the starter yet. Del Nino is going to pitch for Seattle, another left-hander, and that is a 12:10 first pitch. Chris Bassett, I believe, is going to make the start for the A's.
And for Chris Bassett, that means 3 starts following his month off with shoulder stiffness. So it's good to see him back on the mound.
Couple of hits tonight for Burns. 2 singles, a strikeout, and a ground out. Burns chases the pitch in the dirt. 0-2. Danny Farquhar, part of the terrific bullpen last year, but this year the bullpen has been an issue for the Mariners. Well, it was good last year.
Still find that hard to believe.
I do too.
Could be that bad or that good and great one year to the point that it was lights out. And then this year, exactly the opposite.
So Burns strikes out looking, and we're headed to the bottom of the ninth. Doolittle will try to save it. He's leading 4-2.
Aaron Brooks, his final start for the Green and Gold in 2015, and it was a great one for 7 innings, 6 hits, couple of runs, 11 ground ball outs, including a big double play there, and then the strikeout, and even bigger on the changeup. Brett Laurie, good defense, throwing the ball out in front of Mark Cannon. A little fist pump by Aaron Brooks getting out of the inning, and with the A's scoring 2 runs in the top half of the 8th, puts him as the qualifier for the win, and he will hang around and watch the 9th inning as Sean Doolittle takes the mound to try to save it for him. Ford right choice, Aaron Brooks.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So Sean Doolittle comes in. So as we said, Ray, Bob Melvin's dream, 7 innings from the starter. Dull in the 8th, Doolittle in the 9th, and we'll see if Doolittle can finish off what would be a nice win for Aaron Brooks and the Athletics. Well, this is Cessna's spot, but he's going to be pinch hit for him. Go with the right-handed hitter, O'Malley. Sean O'Malley. In the dirt, and the count is 1-1. A slider from Duke.
About that, as we watched him against the Giants throw 38 fastballs on Wednesday, throw nothing but fastballs. And the big at bat, Albert Pujols, it swung at everything. Bob Newman said, manager show, back-to-back sliders. Said if it's thrown Albert Pujols high fastball, he'd have swung at it if it'd been headed towards the press box. That's a high fastball. Got him to pop up, and first and third, got a ground out and the save on Wednesday. Trying to save it again tonight, Friday, after having yesterday off.
So 2-2 now to O'Malley, who is a switch hitter.
Gutierrez in the on-deck circle, so you've got an abundance of players to use if necessary.
Swing and a miss. A good fastball from Doolittle, and that is out number 1 here in the 9th inning.
Just reared back after a couple of sliders and threw the fastball by him. The impressive thing about this at bat, or the at bat pitched to by Sean Doolittle, he did go soft with a couple of off-speed pitches and missed, and then came back-to-back fastballs and blew them by O'Malley. One a called strike and the other swing and a miss.
So here's Franklin Gutierrez. Gutierrez trying to revive his career. Sidetracked by injuries. 15 home runs this year for the Mariners, and really not a lot of at-bats. He's only had 163 at-bats.
Just throw a slider for a strike.
Hey,
1-0.
nice.
Bob Melvin, talking to his manager show with Ken Korak, talked about the importance perhaps next spring. Sean Doolittle developing a secondary pitch instead of just throwing all fastballs, but maybe he's accelerating that by doing it tonight.
So 2-1 the count. Just missed. Good fastball.
Brad Miller's a left-handed hitter, but he is in the on-deck circle. It looks like he is there to. I mean, he's 3 for 3. Home run, 2 singles the opposite field. So I guess you could say lefties or righties doesn't matter to him.
3-1 pitch. Gutierrez pulled off that one 93 miles an hour. Full count.
But it's just easy and easier coming out of the hand of Sean Doolittle. 3-1. Telling the world he's going to throw a fastball, yet no chance for Gutierrez to catch up to it. Here it comes again. Rear back and let it go inside part of the plate.
And he got him swinging. Gutierrez chased the ball low. Doesn't matter.
And Cap, you remember the Friday night in Arizona. Stephen Vogt and his strikeout on the fastball. Stephen Vogt caught Drew Pomeranz. He faced 11 batters. 3 batters, 11 pitches, all fastballs. And you notice with Sean Doolittle, Stephen Vogt setting up at the inside part of the plate. And it's forcing Doolittle to finish his pitches, and he has done it. And it is not going to be Brad Miller. He was there maybe as a deep. It's going to be Montero. So 3 lefties do, 3 righties to pinch hit. 2 have struck out.
Montero steps in. Big, strong right-handed hitter. Slider down and in. Montero 229. He's got 5 home runs. He's trying to revive his career. A little bit low, 2-0. Sucre would be next. On the outside corner, 94 miles an hour from Doolittle.
It's still hard to believe that at one time Sean Doolittle was a pretty good first baseman. We have known him and seen him in the closer role have a lot of success. That look of being a very good closer.
Laurie is going to grab the one hopper on to first, out, and that's the ball game. So a nice, quiet ninth inning for Sean Doolittle, and the big hit belongs to that man, Danny Valencia, a 2-run homer in the top of the 8th inning that broke a 2-2 tie. So game 1 of this 3-game series goes to the Athletics as they defeat the Seattle Mariners tonight by a final score of 4-2. Give Brooks the win and give Doolittle the save. You've been watching A's Baseball on CSN California. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Brody Brazil and Bip Roberts starts right now.